Then you sit down and everyone keeps screaming the N-word at each other, and then it's just like N-word everywhere. I mean, it's only on the left, exclusively. She's not wrong. She's not off base. And she would know because of her knitting circles. Oh my god! I just realized her knitting circles must have had just a bunch of Karens calling people the N-word the whole time. And she's like, "Oh, the left! so many N-words on the left." After a little Pinot Gris, man, the left just starts screaming the N-word all over the place. Oh my god, when you clicked on that, a notification popped up on my thing right now. Weedlord is live with Karen Boring Senko. I just want to watch this for 2 seconds.
Period.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with his orientation at all.
No.
He's just a funny dude. Can't wait to see. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to even talk about that. I'll talk to you about after the show. No, I'll tell you this. I think you already know, but
oh my god. Okay, he might be dishing dirt on Tim Pool right now. Weedlord's been on a tear. Weedlord's out for blood. Yeah, no, he drew first blood, second lord. He's going after Moonlord. He wants his position back. He's made that very clear. Not just on the Twitterverse, but lately there's a couple things that are posted. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited. Hopefully that's what's happening right now.
I don't know if I'm publicly allowed to talk.
We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
But
Anyway,
I'm
Mikey
very
Harlow.
excited about what I'm thinking.
Shout out to Mikey Harlow because he's awesome.
Mikey Harlow is going to be on my channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. We're going to do happy hour. He's going to come for
happy hour tomorrow.
Yes, happy hour tomorrow. But the thing about like Buttigieg is like, you know, like he took a lot of grief in the primary for being the wrong kind of gay from the LGBT community. I swear. And
what does that mean?
They're not doing. Oh man, I was wrong. I was really off base. They're not talking Timple at all. They're talking Buttigieg.
Everything I see from him was just like, boom, yeah, awesome. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I don't understand. Like everything else, everyone, whenever they talk about Pete, all I see is them talking about that he's a gay man. It's like, okay, can we move past that ever? No, they can't. You know, and you said not the right type of gay. Like, what does that mean? That's like saying, just like the Black Lives Matter movement, calling any black conservative, well, you know, you're no longer a part of us anymore because you don't fall into our narrative. Like, what? It's just that kind of rhetoric. It's all on the left. It's all these crazy people on the left. These are the true racists. That's it. That's the truth. That's all I see from these people on the left. And anybody on the right, you know, I don't even consider myself on either side. I feel like I'm in the center. I'm looking around. I'm like, no racism, no racism. Oh, all this racism on the left. Wow. They're trying to segregate everybody. They're trying to say that some races are better than others, trying to convince others that that's the case. It's like, whoa. All I see is racism.
Okay, so normally I would be like, wow, Weedlord is just like, he has left Earth. He's ascended. He's actually literally going for the moon now. But we know what that's about now, because after that Vaush and Tim Pool conversation, everyone remembers that, right? Where all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, yeah, neo-segregationist. Did those words just come out of your mouth twice? Okay, all right, cool. Go on. Can you tell me what critical race theory is, Mr. Pool? I would love to hear your definition of this.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're the only, like, anytime someone uses the N-word, it's almost universally on the left. Anytime someone talks about being the wrong kind of gay, it is universally on the left. Anyone someone talks about, oh God, man.
I can definitely attest to this. It's this one thing. I mean, I love being a leftist. I love fighting for the workers of the world. Those are definitely two things near and dear to my heart. But I mean, just those meetings. It's the meetings, you know. You just walk in and then they're like, hello, Lance N-word. And I was like, oh, hello. And then they're like, can you recite the creed? And I was like, well, I don't really want to do the creed right now. I'm feeling good. And he's like, no, you have to say the N-word at least 40, 50 times. Then you sit down and everyone keeps screaming the N-word at each other. And then it's just like N-word everywhere. I mean, it's only on the left, exclusively. She's not wrong. She's not off base. And she would know because of her knitting circles. Oh my god! I just realized her knitting circles must have had just a bunch of Karens calling people the N-word the whole time. And she's like, oh, the left. so many N-words on the left. After a little Pinot Gris, man, the left just starts screaming the N-word all over the place. Holy shit.
Let me tell you about mansplaining.
Tell me about it.
is a real thing. It is a real thing. I'm putting my stake in the ground, and you know where it always comes from? Liberal men.
Yep.
I genuinely thought she was going to say the left, but yeah, sure. Call a leftist or whatever you want to do it.
Every single time.
Well, there's Karens that try to do it too. So yes. I don't even think it's like a Karen, a male Karen. You know what they're called? A Karen. Yeah. It's a Karen. It's the same thing.
Yep.
So like to be mansplained to, it's the same thing. It's like anybody can mansplain. It's about talking over somebody condescendingly, even if they know what they're talking about already, and you just feel the need to explain it to them, and you know, are a dick about it. Essentially, you know, it's like anyone can.
I feel, and this is actually not bad news. This is kind of, hey, this is Overton window shit. It feels like conservatives, because they're not centrists, they're conservatives, but it feels like conservatives are kind of basically as woke as, say, liberals were in the mid-90s. Like, that's how far they've come. They're always a little bit behind, but that's basically their station. So they're kind of like, it's the Will and Grace era. They're like, yeah, we have gay friends. I have gay friends. And then they proudly will announce when they have a token as well, right? It's like, oh yes, I also have that person. I have that person. I'm friends with them as well. Yes, that's true. That's true. And they're learning about terms like mansplaining. Maybe they're getting like a little bit of little pop feminism 101. That's where they're starting out. And that's basically how far the windows come. So it'll pull. It'll grow with the rest of us.
That type of personality, which it's statistically though, it's, you know, the Karen of what you would think in your head. But
okay, so their Karen discussion is not as nuanced as I was hoping it would be. There's not a little bit or a lot to unpack here. So I'm just going to move along. Oh, they're looking at things.
October, they rescinded their request that doctors stop prescribing it. Now admit benefits far outweigh the extremely low risk. Wait a minute. President Trump, who was trying to have people use this because it actually works, and even when the doctors came out and said, yeah, it works, you should, and they were getting canceled, they were getting banned, they were being shoved under the carpet, you know, they were being attacked. It turns out that they were right. You mean all those deaths that we could have actually done something about it and helped these people? So all I see is these people like 200,000 deaths. Now it's up to 300,000 deaths. Trump lied. People died. It's like, or did he? All you guys are a-holes. Every single one of you, all right, who blame deaths on Trump. You know, Trump's own grandfather died in the last... Actually, sorry, the actual pandemic in 1918. Yeah, that's right. His own grandfather died in a pandemic. You don't think he's...
What does that have to bear on anything?
Going to do what he can to save the American people?
What is that? Do you think he's a superhero? Is that his origin story? Yes, but it wasn't for the last words that Grandpa told me. Never let this happen again. Fuck.
Look, Trump loves the American people. That much is very clear. All right. He was trying to get us to use hydroxychloroquine, which has been proven to work, and you were banning people. Opposite of that. Like most peer-reviewed studies, once they finally started flowing in from around the world, really. I mean, the best ones coming probably out of the Lancet. We're saying that's not the case. You shouldn't be taking hydroxychloroquine, not as a preventative measure, or really at all, unless prescribed by a doctor for very specific things that have nothing to do with COVID. Doctors who were like, yes, this actually works. We should use this. When used early on in the stages of coronavirus, it actually helps people survive it.
No, it was making people's hearts explode. That's why they didn't want people to do it. That's why everyone was like, you shouldn't lie about this, and you definitely shouldn't say that you're taking it. And then it became a meme, because then everyone started saying they were taking it. Do you remember that? Do you remember when Sebastian Gorka said that he was taking it? It's true. Yes, the hydroxychloroquine boys are back.
And now they're changing it. Now they're going, yeah, actually they were right. Don't tell anybody. Let's not talk about it. Let's just slip this in here. No, I'm not just going to sit here and let you just do that. I'm calling you guys out. Now every single time I see somebody who says Trump has all these deaths on his hand. How? He was trying to save everyone. He put on a mask, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's like the left, they're literally saying that Trump was killing people, that Trump himself was COVID. That's what they're saying, you know? Unlike us on the right, who know the truth, which is that Trump was literally saving people's lives because he was inspired by his grandfather.
Masks, there's all this research that claims they don't even work. People are using shirts. They're using socks. They're cutting up whatever they want, fabric. You don't even know if that works. These aren't N95 masks. This stuff still goes through. Get out of here with.
Oh, come on. You're a doctor. Karen. Yeah, so you're a doctor, right? I assume that means that you have some pedigree in something. Like it's not as if you would just add that or fix that. You happen to have an expertise in, let's just say, business team building exercises. That's basically what you specialize in. But anyways, you should be able to express now to your audience that what he's saying is not true. Don't nod your head and be like, that's where you stop him and you say that no. Most peer-reviewed studies on the subject have shown that masks are good for slowing down the transfer of COVID from the person expelling it. See, yes, they probably won't prevent you from getting it and receiving it, sucking it through, but you'll spray less when you speak, and it's moistily. You heard the Prime Minister of Canada talk about it. You don't want to speak moistily.
You can't convince me that stuff works, but you know what does works? Hydroxychloroquine, working with zinc and a couple other things. Like, they know the appropriate thing. The Zelensky method. Let me see if I can pull him up.
Well, while you're doing that, remember that black doctor that came out and was like, yeah I use hydroxychloroquine with all my patients.
Please tell me she's talking about the demon semen. Oh, I missed the demon semen. The demon semen was very short-lived. I feel like that. I felt like that there was so much comedy. There was so much comedy there. Like, I feel like we could have ran with that for like maybe 2 or 3 months before it went dry. And we only had it for like a week. It was just a week of demon semen, and then we were on to the next thing. Because that's just like, that was the Trump administration. I already feel like since the Trump administration is effectively done, since they're accepting it, and now it's just kind of like, how many people will he pardon? It seems now like everything is just so much more toned down. Because Trump isn't like excitable anymore. He's just all kind of like a husk of his former shell, and no one pays him any mind. But man, back in the day, it was something daily, something every single day. I mean, Giuliani is carrying the torch at least. Giuliani knows what's up. He's like, yeah, no, I'm still gonna make your lives hilarious. Yes, no, I'm going to destroy and dishonor any fragment or respectability that I once had. It's gonna be gone. You may have remembered me as the mayor of 9/11. Instead, I'm the weird, sweaty, oily guy who brings on actors who give testimonies about things that aren't true and who show up wasted. And my testimonies, well, I shit myself. That's gonna be my legacy.
Got canceled and completely ridiculed. And remember that legislator in Michigan, the Democrat that got really sick and took hydroxychloroquine and felt better and went to the White House, and she got canceled by everyone.
Two anecdotes.
But of course, black voices don't matter when they agree with Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, because again, it's the liberals and the left. They're the racists. They're the real racists because they always want to play identity politics. That's all they care about. But we care about talking about the black anecdote now and then bringing it up. That's you understand the difference at play here.
He was like, yeah, I treated 300 patients and 300 of them got better. All of them. This is amazing. This guy, Dr. Zev.
Okay, well, before we enter the quack hour, the HCQ study achieved a high success rate in part by removing the people who left the study due to hydroxychloroquine's dangerous side effects. Oh my word, that's brilliant.
Zelenko.
Let's return.
This guy has been talking about it. Like, look, the hydroxychloroquine.
No, I muted
works.
myself yesterday.
All right, here's the treatment. He's a doctor. He's actually done it. They've tried to cancel him. All right, it's called the Zelenko protocol. It's how to beat it. Zinc is the bullet. Hydroxychloroquine is the gun. That's it. He's laid this out for months. All right, this guy, and they were trying to get him banned. He was shadow banned for a long time. But if you don't know him, follow him because he talks about all this stuff. But now we're told, like, well, actually, you know what? So all I'm hearing is them quietly trying to admit that Trump was right. Mm-hmm. He was right. So actually, if you listen to Trump, the media lied and people died. If you listened to Trump and actually used hydroxychloroquine, significantly less people would have died. But you know what? They wanted people.
Jewish MD who promoted virus cocktail is leaving the community where he tested it. Dr. Vladimir Zev-Zelenko, an Orthodox doctor credited with bringing controversial malaria drugs to Trump's attention, accused of spreading disinformation about infection rates. His rise was meteoric and the fall just as sudden. Dr. Vladimir Zelenko, an Orthodox Jewish doctor who rose to fame in March while promoting a cocktail of drugs he claimed had successfully treated the coronavirus, including one by US President Donald Trump, said Monday he's taking himself, despite the drug's potentially dangerous side effects, has announced that he is leaving the Jewish community where he has practiced medicine for decades. In a video shared by the Orthodox news site Yeshiva World News, Zelenko announced that he would leave Kiryas Joel, the town north of New York City, where the coronavirus pandemic he was known for as a beloved community doctor. Things have happened. I've decided that it is the time for me to move on. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. The announcement comes after Zelenko was accused by the community leaders of spreading disinformation about the rate of coronavirus infections in Kiryas Joel, leading to discrimination against the residents of the village. Zelenko is also being investigated by a federal prosecutor over his claim that a study of drugs he promoted had won the approval from the Food and Drug Administration. Leaders in the Kiryas Joel community spoke out publicly against Zelenko in an open letter in March. We, the undersigned institution, strongly believe that the predictions presented by Dr. Zelenko have been proven false and are not supported by the overall medical establishment, specifically in his wild conclusions as to the spread of the virus in our community. The village's offices, emergency management, and partnership of several community organizations and government agencies formed to respond to the COVID-19 crisis, wrote in the open letter. I mean, it's funny. It's one of those people that when you type in, all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of like quackery, quack, quack. There's another one. Oh man. Here's a good article. It's one right there. Got another one right there.
Right.
Cuomo sent people into the nursing homes to get people to die. Now he's writing a book about his successes. He's
So
got
did
the most.
Whitmer.
That's not everybody.
Yeah, so did Gretchen Whitmer. She did exactly the same thing against the advice of her own nursing association.
Exactly.
Sent people to the nursing homes.
And Murphy.
Yeah, Portside Chat, this is a really good point, by the way. All the conservatives right now who are basically just doing whatever Trump tells them and following Trump, and that all Trump has been doing for, since the election, is talking about how the election was stolen. That's it. That's his entire modus operandi right now. I think we have to keep in mind that there's a ton of fucked up shit happening right now. Like, not just in the United States, globally, like everywhere. So now would be a great time for the president of the United States, I don't know, to be maybe doing a little bit of his job, other than just giving these strange proclamations of that, the election's stolen, so stolen. This week we crossed more than $317,000 death marks from the pandemic. 1 out of every 1,000 Americans has now died from COVID. 1 out of every 1,000 Americans has died from COVID. That is insane. Wow. In New Jersey, the number's 1 in 500. So like, that's the point now. We're at that point that I was talking about like a year ago, where you might eventually just know someone. You'll know someone or they'll know someone. Michigan fraud witness totally debunks Dominion CEO. It was brutal. Will the Kentucky Republican challenge the electoral college votes? They're still talking, like, that's the only thing he's talking about. It's wild. That, and yes, obviously there's the fear mongering over China. What's this one? Murder in Malta. It's wild. All right, I'm just gonna watch a little bit of this and then I'm gonna move on.
Medium.com and check it out. But I'm gonna check this out because he does a good job of breaking down what's in the president's executive order on election interference. Now, this is talking about the one from 2018.
Case in point. They're still so obsessed with this. It's like it's all they care about. Now they're talking about Pompeo. Are they going to bring up Mitch McConnell next? And the biggest traitor, of course, is Mitch McConnell. And that's why we need to burn down the GOP.
Look, he basically breaks it down saying, we thought it would be good to work with them, but it turns out they want to control the world. All right, that's essentially what it is. And they're
I finally hit my res. Entire households have it. That is so sad, Hadrian Collider. I'm sorry to hear that.
Now we know we just got hacked. Mm-hmm. We straight up got hacked. All right. And what is going on? Who's hacking us? We're weak right now. Half the country thinks that white people are to blame. Every single one of us should apologize.
Thanks, Mike Marshall illustration.
That they're stoked that the fascist is out of office, when the fascists are literally taking over our system and telling us we're not allowed to think anymore. We're not allowed to go outside our houses anymore because it's for your own safety.
That's what fascism is.
Ridiculous. All right. And I think that's actually not even a true
yeah, I mean, for the man who just gave a lecture on mansplaining, he has been doing a lot of gibberish talking for the last little while.
I think the core of Americans, I think 75% of us probably wanted Trump to win. I'm not joking. I believe that. I think he got at least 10 million more votes. And that's what Sidney Powell's saying. All right, now I don't have any of those statistics up right now.
No, but they exist.
Crazy.
They're out there. Anyways, long story short, this is going to be the new schism, by the way, because the right's upset at each other. They're fractured too. I know leftists are known for infighting, but hey, the right's been doing a little bit as well. This is a new grouping. So this is Weedlord and Karen Borysenko. They're going to have their own thing off to the corner because they don't like Tim Pool. And Tim Pool apparently did some stuff with Foch. She's obsessed with Foch, so she doesn't like that crossover as well. And then now Adam is going to throw himself into the ring as well. So there you go. This is a crossover. It's a crossover event. But there you have it. It was a matter of time.
What lies around the corner? Never knowing who's going to kill you. Are you the next one to be murked? You never know if it's a friend or a foe. If you want to see the biggest names in BreadTube and Left Twitch and Butterthing and I don't know the fucking names anymore, come see Left Among Us.
If you want us to advertise your channel or work, please go to weareserfs.com and email us a 20 to 30 second ad and we'll take it on to the end of one of our videos to help promote your leftist channel or progressive something. Whatever you do.
To our God, I'm Rast, Xander Corvus, and Schlatsky, we shall commit blood sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, our lives are yours to command. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Hans Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeblebeeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the round table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bythe, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Jimmy Bignuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Yoppie, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barretton, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ali Rada Jaffer, Alex Gauvin, Radical Maniac, we salute you.